Welcome to Biomutant. The predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the tree of life started to die. Don't slip. The oil sludge is everywhere. To most, it only means death, but some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways. gone in half. You're fading. Close encounter. You might want to fall back. Slice and dice. Look, an emergency box from the once was. A rare sight. That pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy. Whoa! It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. The Morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress. Blobs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. Grab and pull. Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks travelled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right. But no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours. The sound of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. There you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. Sharp speed. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives.
Jeg hvorfor lån
He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why. He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up. He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed. The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old and sad. Evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past.
إذا سوى بث ما يمديه يسولف يلا. أصلا عادي يا يحيى.
ايوه يلا حيو.
How Looper Lupin somehow left you alive after his raid on the old village. He must have had a purpose with that. The question is, what? There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Looper Lupin did to your village, your Muma and Popsy, was the beginning of the... Time to bring the past back up to the present, to find your way back. But he's grateful. It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples divided and formed tribes as a reaction to the blight that had fallen upon the land. The impending threat of the World Eaters bringing down the Tree of Life is ever so close. He also worries about the Jagni tribe that's actively working for a doomsday and purging of the world. Had it not been for the Tree of Life, no one would have survived. He hopes you at least remember the tree.
ايوه شكله قصته هذا شو الله. على العموم يلا حيهم يلا حي اخوهم ربعنا هذا شو.
Asks if you were tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Muma knows you are here. Sounds like he thinks she does, despite your heart growing dark. There's nothing as powerful as a Muma's love. He understands why you came all the way out here, to see them, the potato people. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this little tree here, fueling its source of life. Magic? He claims it's just the force of life, the existence of energy, powering and connecting all things living, like the Nono. The Nono prefer to hide in glitter grass. He says you should get over there and ruffle it. See if you can make one come out of hiding.
أقول
You've found one. You should be proud. They don't come out for everyone. The Nono's key energy is just what the Pensai needs to complete its cycle and grow into a tree of life. The small tree you saw up there where you met will eventually grow into a tree of life and start giving back to nature. It'll be the heart of the land. You'll need to support the tree for a long time to come. The only way it'll grow tall is with the burst of ki released from the Nono as they become one with the tree. You'll need a net to catch the Nono, and he wants you to use his, but asks you to be gentle. The Nono are sensitive beings, an embodiment of ki, the primal energy. You handle that net like you've never done anything else. He's impressed. He's grateful for all the help he can get. There's lots of Nono out there that need to be guided to the roots of the Pensai tree. They're hiding in the glitter grass that mostly grows deep inside damp caves, where they draw mineral from the natural rock. One day, he hopes the tree will have grown tall enough to sustain the world. But today, your focus is getting this one to become one with the tree.
ما شاء الله يقول له كلمة عن عشر. Now that you've seen the Nono's connection with the tree with your own eyes,
You have no reason to doubt. From this day on, he'll make nurturing the Pensai into a tree of life, a life goal, not only for our village's sake, but for all of us, everyone. One day, the land won't be as peaceful. Not even your Muma will be able to protect us. You can already see the effects from how reckless those before us acted, and unless something changes, we're doomed. The land won't survive the side effects of the old world's industrial advances. He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Muma comes looking for you. You did good here today. No, she's got lots on her mind and needs rest after the raid last night on the Lupin camp with her disciples. Wonders if they let the Predator family live or not. He lost you there for a while, but no memory is alone. It's part of a trail you can follow. He says he remembers every single day he devoted to growing the Tree of Life, but now he's afraid it might be in vain. The tree started to die when the end of days begun, and it wasn't long after that that the World Eaters arrived. The genetic evolution that occurred after the apocalypse that Toxinol Corporation inflicted on the land set the World Eater's DNA into overdrive. His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Noko has tamed the Midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Googlide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of Date says his friends are gearing up to stop the World Eaters. There's one at the end of each route. The road ahead won't be easy, but he's counting on your support. His friends aren't strong enough to end this on their own. He wants you to understand that you'll all die if the tree isn't saved. His friends have prepared something specific for each World Eater. The Mekton, the Octopod, the Majute, and the Googlide are almost ready to ride. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the World Eaters. You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see.
والله يقلب كذا. هيك حيوان. اوكي. الله يقلب. يعلم طريقه.
Must be the World Eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. The World Eaters have made their marks on our world over time. That's not the first nor the last village it'll leave in its wake. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive. He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eaters to other enclaves, but never expected one to come all the way here. He worries there won't be much left to save if this continues, even if the Tree of Life survives the attack. He doesn't know what your connection is to this place, but something tells him you've stayed true to your heart. Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be judged, not by your intentions. He's grateful for that. You still seem to have a spark of light in you.
Ah! That's a spark of light in you!
That's right. Smack that spark out before it starts.
You don't have to be so harsh. It's such a little spark.
Take it out now while it's small.
There's always another spark.
قعد كلب. أو قاطع عقلي فتح.
There's Out of Date again. He must have missed something important.
Iboda kelmo lua tolu tum.
Out of Date says you will make a better stand against the World Eaters with the support of a tribe, and there are two nearby.
Come Reaper.
The Myriad tribe is likely to be a good match as they act on the understanding of the greater good and have a code of honor.
Tobwata lua tolu tum.
Regardless of who you choose, it won't be easy, as the conflict between the tribes is worse than ever, teetering on the brink of war. The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way.
Mauketo tolu ayadre.
Out of Date says someone needs to break the stalemate and shift the balance of power to either Jagni's or Myriad's side.
Yevofo lola nwofo. Mpa wherefore where.
He believes the tribe's Sifus, Myriad especially, will listen to you and expects you to pay at least one of them a visit and play your part. Myriad is convinced that defeating the World Eaters is the only way the world can be saved, but they've been forced to focus on their rivalry with the Jagni tribe.
Kinhobe bekuku hifad muk.
Out of Date will be waiting for you beneath the Tree of Life if you lose track of what you need to do.
Ewe boboye.
Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the World Eaters. You have an odd feeling. Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be? It's a bridge. Just get over it. Not enough key energy. Pow! Person. They've destroyed this area. muddied up what used to be muck, as if it wasn't bad enough before the tribe war began. That's the Jagni tribe's fort. Their friendship can be a blessing or a curse. It's up to you. You're either a part of their solution to the tribe war, or part of the problem. Let's see. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. The Sifu is mindful of his time, but thinks you'll just have to find out for yourself if he's willing to spend some of it on you.
Zata is de moi totloho. Kariesne statse. Paro, ya put.
The Jagni tribe wants to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. They want to vanquish the tribes, as the only way they can guarantee peace is through supremacy. The Sifu is determined to let the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life, as it's part of their strategy to cleanse the world and start anew. He welcomes you to the Jagni fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. The news of a cold-blooded Ronin crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 preceded you. He's referring to your rampage through Bunker 101. It seems you don't mind a bit of blood on your hands. That's something you have in common. He understands that sometimes we need to lose ourselves to find ourselves. But he's glad you chose to come here. There's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a kidling. He can still sense you're kind-hearted. Sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught him a lot. He was one of the original Wang Fu disciples. Your Muma invented Wang Fu. Originally, it was based on unarmed combat and the 6 weapons: the boomerang, the shuriken, the bow, the staff, the nunchuk, and the hook and chain. The Sifu says it's time to set the past aside, at least for now. Unrest is sweeping the land and there are rivals in all directions.
Iglezed. Nalest staridat.
Jagni doesn't want a new unity between the tribes. Their goal is to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. Says there is some darkness in the best of us, even you, and suggests you embrace that side of you and help them vanquish the tribes and let the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life.
Onis purenos odlisini. Zivot.
He had a feeling you'd say that. You're not sinister enough to be a Jagni. That big heart of yours makes you weak. He'll give you a chance to change your mind before you leave and asks you to reconsider. Otherwise, you'll be seen as a rival.
Zenakas pripad snatste.
He recognizes you sometimes need to challenge your mindset to make up your mind. You're a Jagni ally now.
Nezdatsne okoni.
The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with you by their side, he's confident you can vanquish the other tribes. The one he wants to deal with first is the Myriad.
هلا يا رحية.
الله يبجيك.
The Myriad are too good to be true. They might believe in the greater good and a code of honor, but uniting the tribes and saving the Tree of Life won't change anything. Their kin must put an end to the war before war puts an end to them. It'll cost bruises and broken bone, but they refuse to be the victim here. They have no intention of letting this drag out, or they'll run the risk of teaching the enemy their art of war. You need to claim the rivals' outposts and weaken their tribe enough to challenge the rival Sifu at their fort.
وش طلعنا صوتنا بقلبه.
Even
if you see the world differently, you must hit them as soon and as hard as you can. The outcome of this war is up to you. Tells you not to be afraid. Your fate cannot be taken from you. Claim the rival outposts and earn the right to wield the tribe weapon. Once you've conquered the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu for control of their territory, tribe weapon, and kin. Your Muma taught each disciple a weapon. She never intended it for hunting nor war, but lately the art of defense has been shadowed by relentless attack. Seeing you brings back his memories of the old village. Jagni doesn't want a new unity between the tribes. Their goal is to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. He remembers your kind and unselfish soul, and can sense you still have it in you, the will to do good.
О, на око киза одлисени ньовой.
Anyway, you'll pass your old village on your way to the first rival outpost, but we've got no time to be sentimental. War doesn't wait.
Na lest stari dat.
He can't blame you for not remembering, but he can sense the stillness of something lost. Says the shop holds something for everyone, especially you. Says the place hasn't been doing as much business lately, so there's plenty for you to choose from. Worth looking at. The gatekeeper welcomes you back to the fort. Didn't have much else to say, so no problem. Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurred. Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurred. That's going to leave a mark. Time is lost on this place, but it evokes a tingling sensation. There's something special about it, drawing you closer. Let's see. As time passes, memories fade, and sometimes feelings change. It's not about who you were, it's about who you'll become. This story is far from over. Echoes of a long-lost past, like whispers in the wind. Here's someone who takes each day as it comes. He asks how you are today. Then he wants you to know that if you find yourself going through bad times, you should just keep going. He wonders where you've been. He hopes you've been out at the lake, practicing your swimming technique. He understands Wang Fu is hard. That's why your Muma only has 6 disciples. Doing just one thing helps you get more done in less time. He thinks you should really know how to swim by now. Why not? There's no better time to do what needs to be done than right now. He says that wasn't too bad, was it? At least you learned that you'll drown if you don't swim. But you need practice. Lots of practice. You need to rely on those who somehow know how to teach. Those willing to bend down and help you pick up your boots. You just need more time in the surf. That's the only way you'll ever learn how to swim. He knows that's not true. You've just made up your mind you're not. Judging by your Muma's look, it seems you forgot something. You promised you'd train with her before the sun goes down. It's time to go. The dedication to training is important. You can't rely solely on the fact that Wang Fu is in your blood. You should know, practice makes perfect. As long as it doesn't kill you, it'll only make you stronger. She'll see you at the village square. She'll be waiting for you. There will be a surprise for you at the end, too. Here's another familiar face with lots on his mind. Asks how you're feeling today. Being nice comes easy for him. That doesn't make it less important. He was hoping you could help him pick up some scrap for a thingamajig he's working on. It's your own future you're risking by not caring for the environment. The next generation will pay for the mistakes of the last. You should look for things that are recyclable. It shouldn't take you too long to find some. He wonders what usefulness you found. Sometimes he's an expert, but sometimes he just does what's right. He can work wonders with almost anything and asks if you know how to upcycle. That's the spirit. You can't make a difference unless you get your hands dirty. He'd love to teach you to upcycle, and the scrap you found would be a good start. You did well, but he can't help but wonder why you decided to craft a weapon.
Sit up.
He appreciates those able to deliver a sharp remark. He understands, but hopes you won't be needing it anytime soon.
Fruit, drip, jick, typo.
Gizmo doesn't mind sharing. What's his is yours, and what's yours is his. He's looking forward to seeing what you'll make next. It seems you have a talent for this. It looks like she's starting to lose her patience.
Andro?
You know she doesn't like waiting for you. She wants to see you on the village square right away. She suggests you better hurry up then. You won't get far with that attitude. She wants you to grow up and start thinking for yourself. You really need to find yourself before she's gone. She won't live forever, you know that. But she intends to make the most of every day she gets, especially the ones you share together. You've always followed your own path, but this time she needs you to follow her. She worries about you. Sometimes you get lost in your own world, where the only thing that matters is you. Time is lost on this place, but it evokes a tingling sensation. There's something special about it. Let's see. As time passes, echoes of a long-lost past like whispers in the wind. He asks how you... He thinks you should really know how to swim by now. He says that what... He says a... Judging by your Mooma's look, it seems you forgot something. Here's another familiar. Asks how he... He wonders what usefulness. He can work.
Hey, value by you. 2 pounds be you.
He'd love to teach you to upcycle, and the scrap you... You did well, but he can't help but wonder why you decided to craft a weapon.
Well, hey, value by you. What?
He understands. Gizmo doesn't mind sharing. It looks like she's starting to lose her patience. You know she... They look determined. Better watch out. He asks you to stop right there and wonders where you think you're going. He's not scared of anything, least of all you. There's no way they'll let you pass. He wants to know who you think you are. He says you're right. Nobody can tell him what he can and can't do, and that includes you. She asks if you're hurt. What happened? If confidence is silent and insecurity is loud, she thinks you're absolutely right. The most important thing is that you're okay. It's time to focus on your training now. She suggests that you forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them more. Here's someone close to heart, doing what he does best.
الو يحيى سوي لي بث.
والله بيك.
لا يحيى بث لي يا يحيى.
ها يلا
امزح.
بس من هنا ومن هنا.
وش وقع اللعبة؟
انا كويس، انا اشوفها رهيبة.
عبد خالد تابع باكي.
Training with Muma will make you feel better. It always does. He asks if you could help him too before you leave for training. He'll leave the quick part to you. You're the martial artist, after all. He suggests you get going and find him gadgets and ideas for how you can upcycle some old fabrics. He's curious to see what you found. He's gathered so much over the years, and it's hard to remember everything. Nothing's wrong with his memory. It's just short. He can work wonders with pretty much anything, and asks if you know how to upcycle. Says at least dirty hands are proof that you tried, and that counts. That you failed this time doesn't mean you can't succeed the next. He says it's about time you learned how, and offers to teach you, starting with the scrap you found.
اوه اصلف لينا.
يحيى قول فنينة.
فنينة فنينة. ايوه وعلى الكات هاي جلتشات اللعبة.
The style might be too edgy for his taste, but it looks sharp on you. He can see the rebel in you. You're like your Mooma in that way, always choosing your own path, even if it might lead you to peril. You should take it with you, wear it to practice. He agrees that you need to keep some things to yourself, but in general, you should know that sharing is caring. He's looking forward to seeing what you'll make next. It seems you have a talent for this. Your Mooma says it's about time you got here. Hopes you're as ready as you claim to be. She says she is eager to get started. You don't have much time left before the sun goes down. But there's enough time left for repetition, and you need it. Training dummies don't hit back. Wants you to prove that with some practice first. Your Mooma says you did well today. She's so proud of you. You should just keep working and you'll do well. Been working on a present for you, with the help of Gizmo and Wiz. You should go see him and find out what it is. You've deserved it. Reminds you that the best way to get someone to do things is for you to thank them. Catchy. Your Mooma says she's never seen an apparatus as green as this little thing. It's wonderful. Figuring that out is half the fun. A piece of Scraptronics like this has built-in old-world tech that makes it a potent communication device. It's called an automaton, and it's hardwired to your DNA. It'll follow wherever you go and see whatever you see. says it's not a record keeper, more like a companion. Your Muma says you look tired. No wonder. It's been a long day. Says a good rest makes you ready for tomorrow. Rest and you'll find strength for tomorrow. Nothing could stop Lupa Lupin from setting the world on fire. Your Muma urges you to blaze a trail. A burnt kidling will learn to dread fire. Give it a last burst and you'll make it. Your Muma says this is it. The time has come. She must fight Lupa Lupin. This time there's no escape. She can hear him coming. He wants to destroy her. The time to fight is coming, whether she's ready for it or not. Whatever happens, you need to know she loves you. And everything she's done has been to protect you, your Popsy, and those she was chosen to lead. She tells you to stay back. This is her fight. It has nothing to do with you. History has finally caught up with her. She loves how brave you are, but she can't be worrying about you while she fights. This is her fight. Here it comes, the past coming to haunt the present. You must go through fire and water to make it out of here. Your Muma says you can make it if you believe in it. Where she goes, you go. Blood is thicker than water. You're in deep surf. Don't make waves. The surf goes where it wants to go. It'll take you to the shore as long as you go with the flow. Death is not to be feared by one who has lived life with a pure heart. A part of her will live on in you. The creature is hungry for more. Nothing is going to stand in its way now. If a sacrifice is made for someone else, it's not lost, but passed on to the next. Life must go on. Real sacrifice comes from love and necessity when all other options are exhausted. The ultimate test of conscience is the willingness to give up anything to save what you truly care about. What you do for yourself dies with you. What you do for your kin remains and makes you immortal in their memory. As the moment fades and is lost, the only thing that remains is loneliness. It doesn't mean you'll forget your past. It simply means you need to move on. Any kind of protection, you take it. Better than nothing. The tribe's caught a fluffy hulk. Better watch out, it's no pet. They couldn't keep it down. Fluff hulk's on the loose. Whoosh! You're low on health. Bang, bang. It was harder than expected to take down the Fluff Hulk. They've received news a Ronin joined the tribe's ranks and were looking forward to meeting you. A group of Jagni warriors are already waiting for you at Myriad's Vespidut outpost. You should hurry there and help them storm the outpost. Mercy is for the weak. The Jagni tribe seek no one's sympathy. Toxanol was something called a corporate juggernaut, and our world still bears the marks of the massive ecological catastrophes they inflicted upon the land. The apocalypse they caused was the end of days for their world. But for us, it was simply a beginning. Look, an emergency box from the old days, when you needed to pack a punch. Just wow, bet that nut makes a tight fist. Tunnels like this still carry echoes from the past. Can you hear it? You've got nothing left. Hold on to that. Right in the face. Guess you still want more than that. History is nothing but a series of stories. That notice board? Filled with the leftovers of used-to-be wants. You're getting close to one of those old Toxanol brick towns. Pay attention. The Toxanol Corporation made this place, and then just threw it away when they were done with it. Well, small ones. Places like this were cheap back in those days, and there was plenty of space. Get done with one place, you just build another. There must be a track somewhere in this brick town. Just hope it's not buried. Might keep you dry, at least. This corner of the world is called Bricktown. A flush seems like the tighteners on the piping need to be unturned correctly to drain the flush. Just a few moves left. Make them count. That's what you could call a wet disaster. You need to unturn the pipe tighteners to drain the flush stool. That's what you could call a wet disaster. You need to unturn the pipe tighteners to drain the flush stool. That's the kind of trouble you really want to wash away. Could be something sneaking around every tree. Might turn a blade or two. Let's see. There are places up ahead. Never thought I'd see a clothes soaker from the long gone again. It's an up cleaner of unwash, the clean-cut way. You need to get the pegs lined up to get the clothes soaker rolling. Just a few moves left. Make them count. That's spiraled out of control. You need to turn the pegs in sync. You really put a spin on it. Not seasoned enough to handle that. You found the track! Amazing it wasn't destroyed. So much of this place was just discarded. Lucky the track somehow made it. When Toxanol abandoned the place, it fell apart fast. Not too many like living in a ruin hole like this. The track... New days always start with hope. It's Peekaboo Park. Young ones love this sort of place. Put an end to it. The dark is almost over. Small things for your big ideas. This one seems to be in good spirits despite being left. Has her asks you to do the right thing for the sake of your conscience. It's only through your inner conflict you're held accountable for your... Is surprised you chose not to help. Feeling good is not the same thing as doing good.
Yes, that's the way. No arguing with that.
Sometimes your gut is flat out wrong.
Don't ever doubt yourself. You are number one.
Even the dark knows you're better than this.
Stick with me. We'll rule the world.
حكومات يمكن ضربته بس.
That's a myriad tribe outpost. You're not dead yet. Slash. Made it count. What a wonderful day. Blasting it. It's... Wishes you'd use your power to shine brighter, even if you're not genetically of the myriad.
زاد العالم ظلما. علاج.
وشو بس العلاج؟
نزلت عالم ظلام. انا امشي بطريق الظلام وهذا.
يا لون الشرير.
واذبح بها الخلق.
كوراك هلا.
اخوك طريق الخير. بعد ما اكتفينا منه.
يا شرير، تغير اسمك اسمك شرير.
The Vespidat outpost, long-time home of the myriad tribe.
ايش رايك بالطبيعة؟
Any sun is way better than none.
والله طب كانها ماخذه من عالم مونستر هانتر، ما ادري مشابه مع اني ما لعبت.
مونستر هانتر يمكن القطابة اللي فيها، لكن اجرب لان مونستر هانتر ميلا على رمادي. فتت وش اسوي عندي عمود عشان عشان اسوي رسباون. شوف
نشوف كيف.
Let's see.
ايوه
شوف ذول هذا رموهم حيوانات يعلمون على المكان. عاد خلاص عاد اقدر انتقل بالمكان هذا في اي وقت.
اخس.
Says you need to hit them where it hurts, inflict as much suffering as possible, and make it clear your tribe is a terror to
سميتك
their
الشرير
existence.
القوي. إذا ارتفع ليفلك زاد ودمرت كون كامل راح اسميك الشرير الخارق.
اوكي.
كثر مصايب كثر. يا رجل يزين طعم الشاي. الشاي سحر.
You haven't come here to waste time.
السحر انت.
الله يسلم. وانا والشاي.
يلا وانت وشو بعد.
Here's the
يحيى لعبة
first
رخيصة.
line of defense.
اوكي.
الشرير القوي، منو هذا الشرير القوي؟
يا حيان شفت اللي سوى.
كذا وسوى.
يا رجل
غلط
قل وش
عوض.
ما سوى. قل وش ما سوى.
ماش. صح انك اخترت طريقة الطيب. كيف صرت شرير؟ سلامات شوف شو اللي قاعد.
That's a bomb lobber.
الله يذكره بالخير عاد مو طلعنا.
ويضرب الشيطان الاسود ويضرب جديد. يسمونه
ايه يا دنيا يا اخي لازم ادور لي حاجة اسويها. ولا لا يا معزي؟
ماشي. اهم شيء حاجة ان يكون فيها شيء جماعي. ايه عشان تنقذ اخواتك.
اوه مش كان يحيى يسوي بس ولا كان.
والله الحمد لله يعني قلنا كان لي بخواطرنا خلاص.
صدق بدي اعطيها ميوت اخليها ما يسمعنا وخلاص انتهت السالفة اصلا. هلا يا حد حسيت انك ما تسمع صح؟
ما سمعت.
زالوا خضرة ليه طيب؟
ايوه اصلا من قبل ناشرين المنشور انهم راح يزيلون.
طيب منين تجيبها خضرة الحين؟
من سوق الخضر زالوا نصها اللي شفت انهم زالوا نص. وتخبر اللي بالنص عمارة اللي بالنص اللي بيها
ايه.
سمك وهذا اشوفهم يدهنونها وينظفونها.
Give those twirly wheels a turn.
احسن يا رجل. ما هي نظيفة الصراحة.
Just a few moves left.
يبغالها
Make them
نظافة.
count.
بالذات حق السمك.
That wasn't the right way.
يحيد وش بدهم يسوون يعني بدهم يسوون محلات لهم. والله يزيلونها
Yes,
نهائيا
the
والله
river
شلون.
tub's going down the drain.
يا اخي انا لازم اجيب لي فيش ثاني.
Keep going.
هذا
That cage is holding a helper.
وشو؟
ما كلهم بالنهاية.
يا يحيى تدري عرفت حاجة باللعبة، لعبة الوقت كل ما زاد ليفلك كل ما صرت أقوى، حتى لو نفس العتاد.
بس هاتي
أنا أعلمك، شوف أنا نفس عتادي ما غيرتها، لكني تركم زدت ليفل تقريبا 3-4 ليفلات، نفس العتاد نفس كل شيء. وحش بدل ما قاعد عليه 6 ضربات 5 ضربات عشان أذبح دون، لا ضربتين.
طيب
تخيل
لونه
شوف الفرق.
قبل احمر ولا لونه ابيض؟
صراحة هذه ما ركزت فيها، نسيت.
احنا نشوف لونهم ابيض يعني خلاص
هو مقصد يحيى نفس عتادي نفس كل شيء ما غيرت،
Says they've been treated
بس إني
fair and
زدت
is
الليفل
glad to
خلاص
see
صرت قوي.
you. Hopes you'll treat the
يعني
rivals
هذه-
with the same respect they treated them.
وبينك وبينه يعني ما ادري والله.
وانا راه صار دوام فرق 3 من 4 ليفلات. بس انه يعني حاجة كويسة تشدك انك تخليك تلفل زيادة بعد. ليفل 64 بحاول نوصل اخر شيء.
Wishes
شهر ما
there was
ستين.
another way, but
Level
they'll
up.
do it.
ايزي يمديك يومين انت موصله ان شاء الله.
ماني مجيد. ما شاء الله كريم، ما شاء الله كريم.
والله ترى يعني ما هي. انت بعد عندك دروع الحين اقوى مني الظهر. يمديك ايزي.
سويت بالكافر على هوايل.
بس ترى ما لها داعي انك توصل 66، ما في اي فرق.
تكسر دون لاحظت فرق تراني اصير اقوى
كيف تصير اقوى؟ ما يزيد شيء. انا لفلت ما زاد شيء.
هلا انا اعرف
Sharpshooter. The
انا دوام
scaffolding
ليفل
looks
30
unstable.
صح. اذا ودي اذبح وحش اضربه 5 ضربات 6 ضربات.
Better stay
تعرف.
clear of
اي
the
بس
ليفل 30.
يفرق اللي يفرق ان اسمه يكون
Here's the
اسمع تجي كساب ليفل 30 اضربه 6 ضربات عشان يموت صح؟
معزي ودي اللي يسرع يدبل السرعه الصوت.
يلا عدل لما صار 35 صار ضربه واحده خلاص ما تحلط.
red means danger.
ما تكتب حالي.
حسب الله خبر حسبني فواز يا رجل.
ما قدر يلقط. بعد تستاهل لايك يا معزي كم اعطيك.
يا رباي تو بنت دموع. اي نعم مو زي ما قلت. يا اخي ترى قلت كذا قبل شوي بس فرق اني عدتها مجيد بحركة السريع.
Timber. Bet a big bump will bring it down. Switched off the light. A barrel shoot. Smack it to get a barrel out of it. Then hit it toward the gate and blast it.
معزي اعطيتك لايك.
اي فيديو
عندك انت هنا.
That
Oh,
looks
slow.
exploding.
اضغط على نفسك.
Shoot it and what can't
Hold on.
move. You're in. Almost there.
شلون ما فهم.
اصبر توه ما اكتمل. هو اكتمل انا حطيته عليك بس لازم اكمله.
The outpost belongs to your tribe now. He says you made them weaker, but they won't give up. Your Sifu thanks you. Your tribe is growing stronger.
يا اخي اكتشفتني كم اجرب شخصية جديدة ادرني بنعمة بشخصية الدارك نايت.
طالع هذا كيف احط ايقونة؟ كيف احط ايموجي بالرول؟
يجيك لازم تكتبه وتحطه، بس المشكلة يمكن يطلع
هذه مشكلة طالع كتابة.
كود.
Says
ايه
you did
يطلع
a
كود
great
تابعه.
job capturing
اجي انا
the
اعلمك سووه
outlaws.
بالجوال.
You've earned the
بالجوال
privilege
بدك
of
تسويه.
carrying the tribe's weapon.
يا شايل الظبي بيدك.
Says you're lucky to have the honor. Out of Date says he's doing his best to keep up, but from what he can tell, it seems you're making progress with the tribe conflict.
Farfarito, Tuka, Kubu, Ilya, Antuf.
He had a feeling you'd get along with the Jagni tribe, but it remains to be seen what the future holds for your alliance.
Luatulu, Maua.
You seem to get along with the Jagni tribe, which doesn't come as a surprise as you share an ominous outlook on life.
Kutuvun Poputu, Udenu, Kununyu.
جيد لما تعب لك
Out
ديزا.
of Date emphasizes that solving the tribe conflict won't matter
أنا أعلنك
unless
فيه
you
عالم
can
فيه
make
عالم
a
وناس.
stand against the
جمع
world
إنرجي.
eaters.
وتعرف على الناس.
That's the sound of impending doom.
لا والله
Out of Date's premonitions of imminent disaster are true. The porky
رهيبة
needs to be
رهيبة.
handled.
مو لازم جير، ترى دوني عندك تغير. مو لازم تخلي نفسك قوي، لا اكتشفها عالم.
Udenu, Kununyu, Fubu.
عالم
والله
هذا
كنت
كله.
تكتشف العالم تستانس له. لا
He says the time has come to confront the
Okay.
porky-puff at the end.
Pai Katawa,
Goop is working on making his goo glides.
Potobuata, Koibe, Okorfabe.
You
يا الله كحمد اللي في نعمة.
الله
قلبها شوي.
اعطيتك لايك. يلا خلاص كذا كمل.
وين؟
اضغط على نفسك.
ما فيش.
اضغط على
اوه.
تستاهل لايك.
لا 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 لا.
just walk between the raindrops, right?
وسوي ديسلايك عشان يزعجك تعطي ديسلايك او يغثك. هي والله وخلها احمر خلونا احمر.
تدري شو المشكلة؟ بس انا وياك نقدر نعطي لايك وديسلايك.
يا لو انا وش اسمه الدكتاتوريين.
لا انت ما عجبتني لايك ديسلايك.
انا اسمع سلفت. شوف ما راح اتعرض، هذا حقتك انت اللي تعطي الناس لايك وديسلايك، انا ما راح اتعرض. ترى عادي يمديك تغير رايك بعدين حتى لو ما عجبك عطني ديسلايك.
لا انا بس لو اقدر بس اعطيك يعني احط رقم. لو اقدر اخليها رقم يعني من كثر ما لايك يرتفع العداد عندك. بس ما ادري شلون اسويها. اقول صح
عندك افكار.
ترى اللي انت حاطه عندنا تراه وسخ.
وشو عنكبوت؟
البوت تراه وسخ.
ايه ادري في بوتين وسخات لاخر شيء.
وسخ درجة أولى.
بس انا اعلمك خبر اخر بوت ضفته. اول بوت نيت انه اول بوت. انا اعلمك. ايه
شو
تدري تخبر اخر بوت ضفته لان تخبر بوت موسيقى الاول خرب ما اقدر اشغل اصوات.
لا انا اكلمك عن اخر بوت ضفته. اخر بوت ضفته
إيه.
يا رجل وسخ.
ايه هذا اللي اقولك ضفته عشان موسيقى وما عجبني وما حذفته مدري شو خله ودك حذفه احد.
شوف هذا شو ده شو اللي وسخ فيها هذه طيب؟
ما يوسخ بحال نص صح 50%. بس يوم فيه بوت اعوذ بالله مو بتطقطق عايز يدبوه حذفته عايز يدو يحيى.
لا هذا وسخ والحين وسخ والحين. انا اشوف وش هي هذه.
Wiser than ever.
كو
complexity flex.
يا شايل الظبي بين يدك. بس الله.
Breathe in all that nature. That there's Subnautica Station. Goop flounders around in there. Let's see. Gulpo ain't the easiest tongue, but I think he says he's happy to see a friendly face. Not too many of those around these days. Says it's good to see you again. He's Goop. You might remember him from the old days when he tried to teach you how to swim. Goop says you were always so righteous as a child, and he can still feel it, even at a distance. Goop says memories fade surprisingly fast. We are all pieces of what we remember. It's only together we can remember the story as it was. He recalls you wouldn't put in the time required to learn how to swim. He bets you regret that now. Goop says our memory keeps things for us and protects them until we are ready to face them again. He understands you've returned to face Lupa Lupin. That's the destiny you've been carrying within yourself all these years. He says that the catastrophe back then didn't vanquish the good in you. It's still there, as bright as when you were a child. Now the time has come for you to remember and act. Your life is your life, not the story you're told about it. He understands why you seek revenge, but he doesn't think you realize how that'll make you feel once you claimed it.
See? On my side. Go, dog, go.
Duck speaks in absolutes. Well, not only.
Oh, get snuffed, Light.
Let the light shine!
Light eventually burns out. Just saying.
Says life on the goo is wide open. You have so many choices of where to go. Some harder than others, of course. Which kind do you like? Hit the open surf then. The trouble is you can only rely on yourself, at least until you reach a new shore and make new friends. Figures the world is a goner. Even the goo will go gone. Wishes you hadn't done so much to make the goo even gooier. Wonders why you're flapping around with the Jagni. They spend too much time nesting to do anything fun. Thinks you're only proving his point. But hey, back to the goo. Knows yesterday is already gone. It's what you do today and tomorrow that'll move you forward. You need to set the past aside, at least for now. He can't leave the Subnautica station, as the pollution has worn down the insulation of his suit, so you must salvage enough scrap to fix up his goo glide, starting with the old wreck box outside. You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the goo glide strong enough to fight the Porky Puff. It's not that it won't keep your head above the surface, but it needs improving to carry you across the thick goo out by the Porky Puff.
هلو السلام عليكم.
اوه والله حيوه.
الله يجزيه. محمد اللعبة انا مرسلها.
شلون؟
اللعبة انا مرسلها قبل لا تصير بفلوس، حملوها غدا احنا نلعبها شوي ونسحب عليها. وش هي اللعبة؟
والله اني شفتها وغير احملها باذن الله.
هي نوك اوت سيتي. نوك اوت والله انتم مرسلين اشياء واجد. وش هذا؟ متوفرة مجانا، احصل على اوكي ليتل مير مجانية.
حملها يوم جيت، ترى مجانية مؤقتا.
وش السالفة الناس قاموا يحطون العاب مجانية؟ داونلود ستارتنج. وش هذه؟ ايش يا يحيى؟ ايش يا يحيى؟ طقطق يا اوكي خلني ساكت، ما ودي اسبك.
اي منصه اللعبه هذه.
اقوى يا يحيى كنت ماسك على مجيد مامسك ملح عليه يسبك ولي يا يحيى خذ كسطوري انا ماني داري.
اوكي
عاوز
يحيى
ستيم
اسطوري
عاوز
من
ستيم
يومه يا يحيى. تتاكد انها مجانيه؟ وش ليه تحمل هذي؟
مجانية مؤقتة يا مجيد. لحظة انت لعبة
لا
تقصد؟
ما هي هذه لعبه